We have the t-shirts back in stock, my darlings. What is delayed is not denied. We have it in blue since you loved it so very much indeed, my darlings. You better go ahead and get your t-shirt before it sells out, because I just might go ahead and do a yellow t-shirt for you and an orange t-shirt. You have to bear in mind, Baby Girl is a small brand. We are self-funding here, so I can only do so much. But yes, the t-shirt is back and I am living and loving. I also have a surprise for you. Yes. You asked and I said, why not? We have brought the black t-shirt back. What is delayed is not denied. Are we living and loving? Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? So we have all kinds of developments today. So we're going to go right ahead. Starting with Bart. Bart, let me just get this computer. Bart Edmiston. Nolan Wells's former teammate Bart Edmiston Jr. lawyers up after online allegations that he deleted the 18-year-old over a girl, as his family denies any involvement and threatens legal action over the accusation and death threats. So I'm under the impression that he's been getting death threats, and they said, wait 1 minute, let us come and lawyer up out here in these streets. I don't blame you. Nolan Wells's former teammate Bart Edmiston Jr. has hired an attorney, Russell Latino, after online users accused him of deleting 18-year-old over a girl. Bart's family says he was on Horn Island that day, but traveled separately and only became involved when he helped a boat carrying some of Nolan's friends after it began taking on water. They say he cooperated with the investigators from the beginning by answering questions and providing access to his phone, boat, GPS, photos, videos, and a list of potential witnesses. Bart is now publicly denying that he deleted Nolan, witnessed his death, or helped conceal what happened, while his lawyers say the woman shown with him in a widely shared photograph was not Katie McCormick and that Bart did not know her before Nolan's death. His family also says he has been doxxed and threatened, and they are preparing possible defamation action against people spreading their allegations as fast. I respect it, and I'll tell you why. In my former video, I had said I had a funny feeling that perhaps Nolan had been deleted because of a girl, because it was jealousy, maybe because it was A, B, and C. And I did not mention Bart, but I put up his picture. I respect Bart because this is what I wanted instantly. If you're accused of something and you did not do it, come right out and say it. Don't start lawyering up before we even begin to suspect you. That right there is what draws attention to you, and that's when you become to look suspicious. But like Bart, who has voluntarily given up everything he has, he says, you know what, no, check. You can check the boat, you can do anything, not a problem. But then when you start threatening me, when you start flinging accusations that are not true, I will lawyer up and I will come for you. We can come to court, and then right there you can let me know exactly what you have and I'll show you what I got. We'll leave it where it's at for now. Another interesting factor was Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum had this to say about Nolan. Let me play it for you.
Please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there's heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine, and someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was also told, and this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time. This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system.
Officer Tatum, yesterday I did an episode about the two boys that you interviewed in Mississippi in relation to Nolan's passing, Warren Hudson and Tristan. And I was very fascinated at the fact that you both asked them the same questions and they gave you the same answers. It looked very much coached. It looked very much prepared. I'm talking about the interviews now. And it really just made me feel as if the two interviews, of which I kind of initially took into consideration, I no longer believe. I just want to start there. I no longer believe those two interviews. Those interviews looked coerced. The boys were kind of prepped as to what to say, and you did not ask hard questions. These were all soft landers, nothing that would be brought into court. It was a very cushy, nice, comfortable space where they gave their version. I say their version because I don't believe that it's the complete version of what happened that day. For me, it does not matter what Nolan did that day, because Nolan was not the only one drinking that day, supposedly. And you coming out talking about he was doing drugs, it means that he was not the only one doing drugs that day. Could it be a situation that that is what the boys are hiding because they're all guilty? All guilty of drinking underage, because the age for drinking is 21 and not 18. You put drugs into the mix, then that brings a whole other can of worms. First and foremost, the drug dealer will now be charged with murder. Because I feel that one is trying to discredit Nolan, his legacy, him as a person. You're trying to discredit that. The autopsy has missing parts. The kidneys, not there. Parts of the throat, not there. There's some bruising in the back of the head. The autopsy is not finalized, and yet the body was sent over to Washington, D.C. for an autopsy which we now know as fact would absolutely be inconclusive, because we did not have the whole of Nolan. Let me say it that way. We don't know whether he drowned or not. It cannot be determined. We do not know, because we did not get any feedback on what the lungs entailed. Now we are told that that autopsy will be closed right up until trial. I say this because you are just fanning the flames left and right. And then on top of that, before we get any kind of result, you are now trying to discredit Nolan. But you see, every time you give an interview, make a statement, you forget that there are two sides to the orbit. What you tell us about these drugs, it means that they were given access to these drugs. Who was that? That's who is going to be in trouble. And that means that it was all over the island. And you sit here talking about, I'm just waiting to see whether I'm going to go to the police. Do you not think that you should have gone to the police right away? I see why. I see why, Brandon. And I'm just... I respect everybody's space, but I see why the black community is not a fan of yours, because it does look as if you are just only siding the white friends. It looks as if you are helping or you are covering, protecting his friends. Whereas anything that we should be doing is protecting the truth. That's it. Just stay onto that path. We're not saying cover up Nolan. We're not saying cover up the friends. We're saying expose the truth for what it is. Because there's a family here. There's a mother, there's a father, there are siblings that are reading this, watching this, listening to this. And they have to find a way to function in a nightmare that we cannot even begin to imagine. So, before you come out here and we want to justify A, B, C, D, E, and F, look also from where everybody is coming from. That's all they were saying. Mississippi has a history. A history. And America, the racism is as thick as you can cut it with a knife. Absolutely justified. Every day there's a different story. It's not a clean cut where we have an autopsy where it tells us that, you know what, his lungs were full of water, he drowned. We have an audio of where we hear boys asking, Nolan, has he passed away? Is he dead? Is he this? Is he that? Then we have friends who lawyered up in under 24 hours. That is very bizarre. I said it myself. It was very strange that Warren was able to go back to Horn Island. He did not show any anxiety. He did not throw up. He didn't cry. He wasn't jittery. He didn't say, I couldn't do this. Maybe he did this off screen. And if he did that, it was so wrong of whomever to have not shone that light for us to see the empathy and the trauma and the grieving he's doing for his friend. Because he should do this for his friend. Again, I have to say, if this was my best friend, you would physically see a huge difference in me. Some of you would say, I did not recognize Fumi. My God. That is what it would look like. For somebody who said, not only was he my friend, he was my brother. I went to him for advice, for counsel. He was my best friend. I loved him. They both said it, and that's the thing. Both Tristan and Warren were saying identical things, which made me feel this is not something I can believe. I don't care how close you are. You will express yourself only what is true to you. We have Mr. Elliot Carney, and this is what he had to say.
Apparently, there are reports that Nolan Wells was intoxicated, heavily intoxicated, according to some witnesses, and even there are people reporting that he had drugs, including cocaine, in his system the day he went missing. And I want to address this. Number one, why is this narrative being pushed so hard by certain online personalities and certain platforms? Why the victim blaming? Because it really doesn't matter. I don't care if he drank every alcohol on the island and used every drug on the island. Something still happened to this young man. Something still took place that led to him losing his life. And somebody must know something about what had happened. I'm not even saying that somebody certainly did something, but somebody must know something about what happened. And until this family has the truth, we need to continue to pursue justice in this circumstance so that the truth will be unveiled. Whenever you see people victim blaming, you have to know that they're trying to distract you for some sort of a reason. That is the entire point of victim blaming, is they're trying to divert your attention from one thing to another. And they're trying to make Nolan Wells look as though he is somehow responsible for his own death before we know what the truth of the circumstances are. Why is that? Why is there a concerted effort to persuade public perception towards this being Nolan Wells' fault? That is an interesting thing, and the kind of thing we need to be thinking about as we're going through this process. This family and this circumstance and this situation deserves to know the truth and what happened to this young man. Do not allow yourself to be distracted by irrelevant details. Maybe he was drunk. No, not sure. But somebody knows something. And think about this. If he was drunk at the age of 18, then someone knows how he got that alcohol, because he certainly didn't go to the store and buy it. If he did use cocaine, then somebody sold him that illegal drug, and that person is culpable.
There you go.
But right now, they're pushing a narrative to try to place the blame of his own death onto him. And it is worth asking why. Mm-hmm. Why are they doing this? Mm-hmm. Who is responsible for this? Why is it so important that people rush to judgment and believe that Nolan Wells was responsible for his own death? And why is that more important than actually finding out the actual details that led to the young man losing his life? It's important that we stay focused and not allow ourselves to be distracted. And it's important that we allow this family to receive the justice that they rightly and justly deserve.
What did I say? Justice for Nolan Wells. We will continue to dig and dig and dig. And in the process, there are people that are going to end up digging their own graves. I just feel so bad for all of these other cases that did not get the eyeballs that Nolan's case is getting. Why? Because people have gotten away with this kind of nonsense before. Who was selling the drugs? Who was selling the drugs at the beach? They've done it before. They were there last year. They were there the year before. The person that was selling these drugs, think about it. Let's just think about this. He went to Horn Island, just like everybody else. And as you can see, all of the boats and everything, hundreds and thousands of people. Why would somebody take their market to a place if they did not know they were going to sell out? Because it wasn't only Nolan, hypothetically say, that was engaged in this kind of activity. That means these other people are also going to be in trouble. There's no way you're going to get out of this. And every time you open your mouth trying to discredit Nolan, you're going to implicate yourself as well. I just have to ask right there and then, Officer Tatum, I would never have interviewed these boys had I known about the drugs. If somebody had come to me and talk to me about this, I wouldn't have done the interview. The interview is compromised because I am not getting the whole truth. You have to respect the digital age. There was a time when all we had was CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. Those were the big networks. And we just took in what they told us and what we read in newspapers. The digital age is here. AI is here. If you don't want to accept it, you can stay in the Stone Age. But I tell you this, the world my parents prepared me for no longer exists. It no longer exists. We are in the digital age. And we have social media platforms where we have the creative control to say whatever we want. And we can go ahead and speak our truths. And we can go ahead and say, no, you know what? I don't believe this. I suspect A, B, and C. Allegedly, 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 allegedly. And that is why this Nolan case has turned on its head when it comes to mainstream news, because they no longer have the control. They no longer have the control. The control is whom? The control is you. You now have the freedom to listen to anybody you want and make up your own mind and your own decisions. To add to that, where it was just a one-sided relationship, we only listened and there was no way we could give our feedback. You have the comment section where you can give your feedback. You even give me referrals of this YouTuber, that YouTuber, this YouTuber platform, journalist, and so on and so forth. And we go back and forth. And also I can listen and read all of your comments and say, okay, you know what, let me go to this, let me go here, let me go there. I say that because I have, just before I leave here, I have one last question that I want to answer. and it was a Fumination, well, it was a comment here. And the lady said, "Good morning, Fumi sis. I have a question. I don't understand why a mother has time to be online that lost a son. I'm confused. If it was me, I would be try to heal and find justice." It's a very valid question. Her name is Christine, Nolan's mother, that she gets off social media and grieves. The situation here is that we are in the digital age. She doesn't have time to grieve. She's out here fighting for justice for her son. And because of that, she can only grieve later. She has to be out here every day showing that she's fighting for her son, proving that whatever lie you want to spin is not going to wash. In this digital age and temperature, we need to hear from her. She needs to hear from us in order to solidify her case and bring justice for her son. The world has changed, my darling. Love of loved. Love of love, the world has changed. That's just what it is. To go and grieve in a corner does not bring justice for Nolan, because she still does not know what happened to her son. You know what? I'll tell you this, and I'm only getting better at it now. Closure can come with a certain torture. It's either you make peace with certain things, or it will torture you. Morning, noon, and night, even your sleep will not give you the escape. She has nowhere to run. Even her sleep does not give her that escape. She can't grieve, she can't mourn her son now, even if she wanted to, because her spirit won't let her rest. Even Nolan's spirit is right by her and saying, "Mom, I'm okay." But as a mother, I cannot imagine what that feels like. And you don't know what happened to your son. You have no idea. He left Friday night to go and spend the night at a friend's house, because Saturday morning they were all going to be together and take the trip together, 30 of them, 3 boats, meaning an average of 10 on each boat, to sail over to Horn Island. She assumed he was having a wonderful time. He went with these same friends the year before. Nighttime came, and she did not hear from her son. And I tell you, it's that eerie feeling that starts with your tummy. Those loose knots that become tighter and tighter and tighter, to the point you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't eat. You're trying to be calm, but you're restless. And then you get a very eerie feeling down your spine, and your heart starts to feel heavy. You can physically feel your heart, and you're trying to brush these feelings away. And that's the beginning of the nightmare. While all of us have moving on with our lives, their lives have ended the way they knew it. It will now become before Nolan, after Nolan. That's how they're going to talk with each other. You know, it was before Nolan. They won't say the sentence all the way through before Nolan died. They'll say, oh, before Nolan. No, it was after Nolan. Can you imagine living your rest of your life like that? And you see all of his friends meeting all of their milestones, graduating from college, getting their first jobs, then the engagement parties come, then the grandchildren being born. And every single milestone, every single friend, you can imagine 30 of them, that is what has become Christine's life. Oh, no. She has to be out here right now in order to fight for justice for her son, because she needs to have peace. She needs to know what happened to her son. And whomever is responsible, since they want to bring out this new narrative about alcohol and drugs, who supplied them? Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you. What? I'll see you sooner than later. All of my love. There was a beautiful, wonderful 11-year-old autistic boy in Canada, and he had been missing for the past 2 weeks. They just found him. He died. He was in a tunnel. He had crawled into a tunnel under construction, and that was where he was found. So I'm not happy today. Take good care of yourselves. I am so excited. I mean, talk about keeping it in the family. For those of you that don't know, I was a beauty queen. Yes, I was Miss West Africa 1990. Yes, decades ago. And then it's come back full circle with my beautiful niece Farah, who is competing to be Miss Alberta. I want you guys to sponsor, to support her. She has a wonderful support page. Please go right ahead and support her. Please, please, please. She is absolutely beautiful and amazing. I remember when Farah was born, and to see her now walking on stage and winning all of these beauty competitions just warms my heart. So I want to use my platform to spread the word out there. Please support my wonderful niece Farah, and just click onto the link and give her all the support that you can. I will deeply, deeply, deeply I will deeply appreciate it. And Farah, congratulations. Congratulations. Well, you know you're my daughter anyway, because I don't have daughters. So you are my daughter. It doesn't matter who birthed you. You're my daughter. And I am so, so proud of you. Fumi Nation, this is the first. Yes, my darlings. The next generation doing wonderful and amazing things. And for Farah to walk out on these platforms and really follow in my steps, in my footsteps, I am absolutely speechless, and I want you to support her. Okay? All of my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. I love you guys. Mwah.
Hi guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking